The video for July 22nd, 2017 is entitled Creating Cooperation in the Confusion, or in the Conundrum, rather. Could say confusion, too. The conundrum, of course, is that life seems to pull in opposite directions, creating continual war, inside and out. For me, the theft of my home presented me with the greatest challenge possible, which forced me to re-examine long-held beliefs. Life without some kind of divine intervention seemed hopeless. In my confusion, I struggled just to find meaning to keep going forward each day. As I listened to the Wingmakers 5 video Steve Hart sent me, Dr. Neruda emphasized again the importance of neutrality. This seems insane to me. How can I be neutral in a world where there is so much obvious and clear evil and clear deception? Neutrality would mean I don't care, but I do care. I want everyone's life to move in an uplifting direction despite the downward trend I witness all around the world. I ask myself if it is even possible to create some kind of cooperation that would be sufficient to shift the world to a path of positive creation. I don't know the answer. Do you? Indeed, as you that have been listening to my videos know, and by the way, somebody asked me again in a recent comment on YouTube, on one of my YouTube videos, I think the most recent one, to join some other thing. I'm on Facebook and YouTube. That's it. No more social media. I don't have the time to, well, it's not that I don't have the time. I don't have the inclination to join all these many alternative groups that are out there. I'm on Facebook and I'm on YouTube. That's it, period. I'm not going to join something else. If people want to contact me by email, my email is paradoxman1946@gmail.com. Send me a message and we can communicate. Some of you I might even want to communicate with by telephone or even an online video communication or something. But I'm not going to communicate on these other alternative websites. I do, as I said, I do Facebook and YouTube. But again, I've been struggling, and I had a brief conversation with Steve yesterday. Steve Hart is my magician friend. And he did send me, after the conversation, he sent me the Wingmakers video, and I did watch it. And I also watched, when I say watched, I mean listen, to a program called Incontroversial New 9/11 Documentary by Tony Rook. And I just flipped over to there, and I see Cynthia McKinney on there on the video. And I did watch that, listen to that yesterday. Once again, my tendency is not to watch videos, but to listen to them, which means the audio, if there's no audio on it, if it's something you have to read, forget it. I'm not going to waste my time, because I try to get away from the computer, but as much as possible. I go sit in my reclining chair that's behind me that I went and purchased. I used reclining chair for, what did I pay for it? $25 or something like that. It wasn't a lot of money. But anyway, I've been struggling. If you've been listening, I've been struggling with this thing. I want there to be real change. Not change that I can believe in, but change that I can experience. And as I said in the blurb, I'm not neutral. I want a world that works. I have looked at Swiss-Indo. I have looked at the restoring of the American Republic. I have looked at the OPPT. I have worked with the ambassador. I have done a lot of things in my life in the hope that something can shift. But I know that even if we had a lot of money, it really wouldn't immediately shift consciousness to cooperation. It would simply enable some of us that have more positive visions to start implementing those visions that have been withheld from that. We've been we've had that opportunity withheld from us by the current system. And that needs to change. And I'm not neutral about that. And to me, neutrality means, as I said in the blurb, I don't care, but I do. I do care. I want to see humanity uplifted. I want to see life make sense. I don't want to see money being wasted on endless wars and the constant conflict and the battle that goes on inside of us and in our world around us. It's no wonder that it takes place, I guess, in the world around us when we are not at one with ourselves. And can we be at one amid the confusion? It is a conundrum. It is a mess. I mean, it challenges me to the extreme, because I've always, since I was a little boy, and I've said this over and over again, since I was a little boy, I've wanted there to be peace on earth. I've wanted there to be a kingdom of God, a kingdom of heaven. I've wanted that. I've worked, I've dedicated my life to it. I've given up things that others would consider important, education and various jobs and stuff like that, because I've wanted to be in integrity to what I felt my mission was in life. And my mission is to somehow play a role, not to do it myself. I don't see myself as having the power to do a lot of things by myself, but in a cooperative venture where there's a bunch of people and a bunch of us working together for a common cause, the common cause of healing the wounds and bringing peace and some kind of equanimity, because everything is so out of balance in the current world. And why a loving God would allow that, again, is a challenge to me. And so I appreciate Steve's willingness to still hang in there, because, he's offended me, or actually it wasn't him, it was another person in the group there that offended me for being too much involved in the 3D stuff. And they want to talk about 5D. Well, 5D is not here yet, or at least it's not manifest in the world in which we live. And until it's manifest, 5D doesn't have any significant meaning. Now, is the Wingmakers thing, is that the 5D thing of moving into some position of neutrality and non-judgment? It's really, really hard. How do we do that? How practically, how do we do that? Is neutrality actually another way of saying I don't care what happens? Then it's not love. Then it's not love. Because love does care. It does matter. It does, and by it does matter, I mean it does materialize in our experiential reality. So, folks, I'm reaching out yet again, trying to find a way to cooperate. Now, it's interesting, and I close with this, that I had a dream that I actually met a life partner, which is something that I haven't put a lot of focus on. I mean, I think about it from time to time, but I mean, I've looked at the world situation as my focus, not finding a partner. But in the dream, I had found a partner. And I'm not going to go into the details because I just want to let it unfold as it will. But it was really interesting because there were some synchronicities in the dream that I don't know if they're going to take place in my living reality or not. But it was rather fascinating, to say the least. Anyway, folks, I appreciate those of you that continue to listen and to bear with me in my struggle for meaning. And hopefully together we will find that spirit of cooperation and help us lift out of the confusion. Thank you for listening, and namaste.